Let's talk about the evolution of why. Why you do the thing that you do, and how, in reality, it's not something that's set in stone. It's something that is constantly evolving and changing, just as you are constantly evolving and changing. Welcome to Thrive and Serve. I'm Colin Scotland, and here we talk about how amplifying our impact is driven by us becoming the truest expression of self. What does that mean, and how do we utilize the thing that we feel called here to do in order to make a difference in the lives of others? That's what we explore inside of this podcast. Today we're looking at why and the evolution of why. Take a deep breath with me. And let's begin. When I first started out as a marketing coach back in 2014 now, almost 10 years ago, my why was driven by a scarcity sense of needing to be okay, to be in control. Back in 2013, I had just walked away from a multi-million pound business that had gone bust, and I lost everything materially that I owned in the world almost. In the aftermath of that, I felt like the world's biggest failure, and everything I did was driven by scarcity. I must have this. I need to have this. I want this. And all the things that I did was to try and find a sense of security and to solve that sense of shame, sense of failure, sense of being a useless lump, basically. Always trying to fight against that sense of, well, Colin, you're just such a waste, lad. What a, always. Everything I did was driven by that. And so it was always very oriented around control and feeling like I'm in control. It's an illusion. I know that now. I didn't know that then. But it is an illusion. Control is an illusion. And when I started out, it was all about that. When that business went bust, I was a jiu-jitsu instructor. I've studied Japanese jiu-jitsu for many, many years. I used to run a club. And for the last 10 years, I've done Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Now, back in 2013-14, I run a jiu-jitsu club. And it was fun. I did it initially because it was a way of earning some money, paying some bills, as a club, as a business, right? When that business went bust, I had three ways of earning money that I just explored and played with because I needed money. I needed to survive and pay the bills and keep the lights on. In that, something quite profound happened. And when I was teaching a class, one of the young boys that I was teaching really was struggling to get the move that I was sharing and showing. And he was doing his best to do this throw, picking this lad up, trying to throw him. Couldn't do it. And I persevered, and I was like helping him and trying to show him how to move his body in the right way. And after a little bit of time and a little bit of perseverance, he got it. He did this throw, and it was beautiful. It was very fluid. I lifted this lad up who was bigger than him, threw him down onto the mat, bang. And that little lad's eyes in that moment changed something in me. His eyes lit up and he was like, wow, I can do this. I can do this. It sparked something in me. I've always loved teaching. I've always loved sharing, but it really lit me up and made me think, I want to do more of that. Not jiu-jitsu necessarily, but more of that light. I want to see that light in people's eyes when they go, I can do that. And that's been something that's stuck with me for 10 years now. And it's never gone away. Now, around that, wanting to see that light in people's eyes, the why, the purpose, the driving force has changed considerably, which is the true nature of our why. It's always relative. to the circumstance and life situation that we find ourselves in. And that circumstance, that scenery of life, constantly unfolds around us. And it's always different. It's never the same. Heraclitus says, a man can never step into the same river twice. Think about that for a moment. We step into a river, very carefully step out again, and put our foot in exactly the same place. We are in exactly the same place. How can this be, Colin? I'm in the same place in the river. What are you talking about? Okay. In that change of moment, time has moved on. The water that you stepped into the first time is now 500 yards downstream. The pebbles that you stepped on are different. The fish swimming around are different. The water molecules are different. The blood coursing through your veins is different. The oxygen in your blood is different. The breath in your lung is different. The air molecules around you is different. Need I go on? The planet is in a different orientation and a different place in space. Because the nature of life, the nature of existence is one of constant change, constant evolution. Everything is always moving by its very nature. Nothing is static. And yet, as humans, we cling to the notion that we want to be in control and we want things to be static. We want things to be exactly as we want them to be. And my yearning after that business loss was for control and for things to stay still. Like things need to stop moving because all of this movement has caused me so much pain and anguish. I need things to be still. Without even realizing, I didn't even realize at the time the nature of existence in what Heraclitus says, the true nature of this life, of this existence. And so my why now is still to see that light in people's eyes. It's not changed in that sense. But the circumstance, the driving force, all of those things, just like the river, have changed for me. And all of those things will change for you. That's natural. So when we talk about why and calling and finding our why, we're always on that journey. We are always in that process. Because just as life unfolds, our why evolves and grows with us as well. The core fundamental, I share my calling as helping others to shine their light brightly in the world. And I get warm off of the glow, right? That feels like a real calling in my soul to do that. And I've done that through the lens of jiu-jitsu. Now I do that through the lens of AI, through marketing, and through business growth, teaching all of the things that I learned and the mistakes I made to others in my orbit. But the calling hasn't changed. The calling is the same. The driving force is the same. The surroundings, the wrapper around it is what changes and evolves. And so when you look and you inquire as to why you're doing the thing that you're doing right now, go easy on yourself, would be my honest advice. Don't expect too much. Label that inner, invisible, magnetic pull that calls to you. But then allow the wrapper, allow the surroundings to evolve and change, because they will. Don't expect this is my thing, this is what I do, to stay constant, because you don't stay constant. We are always flowing, always moving, always changing. Change is the only constant. And so with that, allowing things to unfold and change and evolve means that we are less likely to suffer. Buddha talks about life as suffering. And the cause of the suffering is our clinging and attachment. Think about that. We hope, pray, expect, demand even for things to be a certain way. And when they are not, it is that causes our pain. It is our expectation and demand for how things should be that creates pain, anguish, suffering within us. If we can come to a place of equanimity, of what the Buddhists call magnanimous mind, then we begin to see life's events as they unfold as events that unfold. Neither good nor bad, just events that unfold. The sun sets, the sun rises, and so it is, and so it shall be. These are material facts. And any disturbance in that comes purely from our wish for things to be different. The baggage that we hold inside of us. Michael Singer talks about rattlesnakes and butterflies. And he has a lovely way of describing it, much better than I, but he talks about a butterfly flutters by and we just kind of go, oh, look, a butterfly. I was out walking my dog the other day and seen a beautiful red admiral fluttering about in front of me, and I just thought how wonderful this life is that we get to live. And so seeing that butterfly brought up beautiful thoughts of, oh, how lovely nature is, how wonderful creation is. That thought is in me. That thought wasn't in nature or the butterfly or the dog or the people around me. It was in me. Now, had a rattlesnake slithered by on that same walk, you can guarantee my reaction would have been different. Why is that? Why would it have been different? It's a rattlesnake. Oh, no, be careful. There's no rattlesnakes in the UK. It's an analogy, right? But, oh, it's a snake. It might kill me. I might die. Oh, no, and I'm tense now, and I'm totally different to the way I was when I seen a butterfly. But what is different? It's a butterfly. It's a rattlesnake. They are what they are. The whole issue here is that we attach certain meaning to events and things as they happen around us. Jesus said, before Abraham was, I am that I am. And that statement is so profound. It is outside of time, outside of the realms of the material that we see and can touch and feel and understand and conceive. So when a rattlesnake passes our consciousness, we tense up. When a butterfly passes our consciousness, we soften and relax. Neither of them are any different. They just are what they are. We and our reaction is the change, is the difference. So with that, when we look at our life and our circumstance and our life scenario the way it is right now, it's in our power, it's in our control to choose how we react. And this is the same whether we're looking at our circumstance in business, in life, whatever. Looking at our why and the reason that we're doing this and the feeling of what am I here to do always brings up baggage inside of us, just like with the rattlesnake. I'm not where I'm meant to be. My business isn't earning enough. I don't have enough clients. I need more of this. I want more of that. And now we are perplexed. We are suffering. Nothing else. No one else. Just this unique interpretation of the hologram of life around us going on inside of us. And when you can see that for what it is, you can not always, definitely not always, you can begin to take a step back and see for what it is. See life, see existence, see the flow for what it is. Appreciate what it is. And realize that that invisible thing, that light in that boy's eye in jiu-jitsu, hasn't changed. Me wanting to see that light in others and help, feel called on my soul level to help other souls evolve and grow and be better and realize how beautiful they are. And then to explore that through their work and how they show up in the world, and then do the same to others. That calling doesn't change. The wrapper around it does. You know, for me, AI wasn't a thing just a few years back. Now it's my world is AI. No doubt 5 years' time it'll be different again. The invitation then is for you just to appreciate the ever-flowing nature of this life, this existence, in awe and wonder and gratitude for exactly how things are right now. Doesn't mean we don't try and change them if they're not labelled as great, okay? Of course. We set our intention for things to be the way that we hope and desire for them to be. Nothing wrong with that. But when things happen, the reaction that we have to those things, that's our choice. Doesn't mean we won't always go, oh no. Doesn't mean if a rattlesnake crawled onto my desk right now, I wouldn't jump up and scream like a girl. Ah! Like a little boy. Ah! Because of course, it's just like an innate reaction. What we're talking about here is different. It's your understanding and awareness of those things. And then in that awareness, your ability to step back and your ability to appreciate with love, with gratitude, with kindness, with compassion, the reality of where you're at right now. The knowledge of where you can get to, what you can do, what you can achieve, and how you can show up in service of others. And then the blessed position of being able to take those steps in order to make that your reality. And then with loving kindness and as little judgment as possible, moving forward day by day, loving self, loving, as Byron Katie put it, what is. I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me today on Thrive and Serve. If you found this content helpful, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Go and let your unique light shine in the world in the way that only you can. And I'll see you next time.